My name is Mohammed Lutfi. I am G3 ICT Senior Advisor on Capacity Building and Advocacy. I welcome you all. We are very excited to have you joining us today. And also, we are very excited to have you joining G3 ICT family and IAAP family as recipients of the Dare Academy Scholarship. It's for its Cycle 1 and Cycle 2 of 2021. Many congratulations. This orientation is planned and being implemented for you to make sure that we are all on the same page with regard to the nature of G3, what G3 ICT is about. Also,
Sarah Bowen has joined the meeting.
The scholarship that you are receiving, the process of fulfilling the requirements of receiving the scholarship, and also how to proceed with the certification process that this scholarship is granted for. Without any further ado, we have a very tight agenda. We are only the orientation session is only for 1 hour.
Francesca,
I would like to we would like to start
space with application, voiceover off.
We would like to start the orientation session by turning it over to Miss Francesca Cesabianchi. She is second vice chair of the G3 ICT, and she's the head of the Department on Institutional Advocacy, and she will speak about the G3 ICT. She will give us a brief overview about what G3 ICT, and then we will proceed with the next items on the agenda. Francesca, please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Mohammed. Thank you, everyone. I'm Francesca Cesabianchi, and I am based in Atlanta, although I am from Italy, and I've been here for about 20 years in the United States. I will give you an overview, a brief overview on G3 ICT. If you, I think I'm sharing some slides, which we'll make available to you as well. G3 ICT was formed in 2006 as a multi-stakeholders initiative at the invitations of the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, UNDESA. Just in the aftermath of the adoptions by the General Assembly of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. And G3 ICT was created to promote and advocate for the implementations of the disposition of the Convention on Digital Accessibility and Assistive Technologies, which are in Article 9 of the Convention. Our missions in 15 years, 16 years actually now, has not changed, and our mission is really to promote the rights of persons with disabilities in the digital age. I've included on the slides a link to our story, and I encourage all of you to review a bit more of our story, which is very interesting on our website. We work in 4 divisions at G3 ICT. We do have a Global Policy Center division, which works to promote digital inclusions through procurement policies, standards, technical resources, and some cutting-edge programs like smart cities or access to justice or maturity models. We do have a second division, which is the Institutional Advocacy Division, and I will talk about more in depth now. Then we have the M-Enabling Summit, which is our annual conference to promote and foster innovation with the industry, and it's our annual conference, which has been held for 10 years in person, and then most recently in a virtual format. And then last but not least, our Training and Certification Division, which is led by the IAAP, the International Association for Accessibility Professionals. So the Dare Academy is managed by the Institutional Advocacy with the support of the IAAP. Our work within the institutional advocacy is twofold. We have programmatic activities, which are at the core of the G3ICT advocacy mission, such as promoting ICT accessibility awareness in cooperation with international organizations, benchmarking ICT accessibility, and capacity building programs with the launch of the DARE Academy special initiatives. We do also have programmatic activities at the intersection of advocacy and innovation with the mentioned Enabling Summit and collateral conference events that are promoting innovation. And our latest research program, the Neuroabilities, which is a program dedicated to neuroscience, neurotechnologies, and assistive technologies. So I invite you to also to explore our website for these programs. Our first, being a brainchild of UNDESA, we have a long-standing cooperation with the United Nations. We are in consultative status with the United Nations Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, since 2017. So this allows us to make recommendations in international venues. We are a conference of state parties accredited civil society organization and part of the steering committee for the COSP conferences. And we work with different projects with various UN systems, specialized agencies and funds and programs and departments and regional commissions. And we do an active, we have an active membership with the ITU, with the International Telecommunications Union, and the UN Global Compact. We host actually a delegation at the ITU, which takes part in ITU study groups or in the International Governance Forum. Our outputs at the advocacy division has been really taking place as an advisory and participates in all the editions of the COSP conference to date with ad hoc side events. We have also organized more than 200 capacity building seminar conferences, workshops, you name it, over the years with various governments, advocacy organizations, and UN agencies. We do have publication sections where you will find some of the G3ICT model policies that we have done with the ITU, with UNESCO, with ILO, and the Global Compact. So I invite you to look at the sections of publications. And obviously, we do speaking engagement in various venues and policy implementations recommendations at the regional and national levels. We did recently in India for accessible TV and procurement, and with ECLAC digital. Benchmarking is the DARE index. Again, it's a very unique tool that is available to you for peruse in our website. It's covered at 137 countries. Scorecards, it's in its second edition, and it's really a tool for advocates, made by advocates. We work with an extended panel of up to 200 respondents. And this is a benchmark tool to measure ICT accessibility in countries. And then finally, our capacity buildings. Before the pandemic, we started in 2014 with in-country workshops and capacity building. In these slides, you have a nice picture of a group in Dominican Republic of 60, 70 people in Dominican Republic hosted by the government. And we hosted in-person meetings in India, in South Africa, in Mexico, in Colombia, in Turkey. And we hope to do more in the future if the pandemics would allow us. But I want to conclude in February last year. We were very honored to welcome on our team Dr. Mohammed Ali Lufti, who is an international development advocate and the former acting executive director of DPI, who joined as senior advisor for capacity building. And with him, we brainstormed and implemented the DARE Academy, and Mohammed will talk about more about all the DARE Academy programs in partnership with the major international organizations of persons with disability and development organizations. Last but not least, I want, besides mentioning Dr. Mohamed Lutfi, I would like also to thank our team, Mata Birani, who is the program officer of the DARE Academy, Udita Singh, who is our communication manager, and then our IWP colleagues, who offer support for the educational certification program and membership services. Today with us are Rachel Paul, who is the membership service and outreach manager, and the program assistant, Sam Sanderman. Thank you very much, and I turn the floor to Mohamed.
Thank you very much, Francesca, for this comprehensive yet brief presentation about G3 ICT. Again, thank you all for joining us. And it's my pleasure to be with you at this meeting today. As Francesca explained, I'm currently working with G3 ICT and managing the DARE Academy, the Digital Accessibility Right Education Academy, which sits under the Department of International Institutional Relations and Advocacy that is headed by Francesca. And we are currently running 3 initiatives or 3 major activities. The first one, which is you all part of, the scholarship, the DARE Academy Scholarship. The DARE Academy Scholarship was launched in June of last year during the Conference of State Parties, during a side event that was held by G3 ICT at the conference. And the scholarship is dedicated for persons with disabilities who are interested or are working as advocates in the field of digital accessibility, with priority given to people coming from countries of emerging economies, developing countries from the global south. So we have been very successful with accepting 40 candidates over 2 cycles of the scholarship. The first cycle was took place in the summer of 2021, and the second one took place in the fall of 2021. We are hoping, and that was a sort of like a pilot phase of the scholarship. We are hoping to continue the scholarship initiative this year in 2022. The scholarship aims at building up capacity of persons with disabilities in the field of knowledge and advocacy around issues of digital accessibility. This is part of, it's the core focus of G3 ICT, which is the promotion of the disposition of CRPD around issues of accessibility, particularly information communication technology accessibility. As you may have all received in the emails that you received from the DARE Academy previously, that this scholarship is only valid for 1 year. So we all urge you, we urge you all to take advantage of the scholarship and sit for the exam. I'm excited that most of you, or the majority of you, have already started the process of preparing for the CPAC exam, for the CPAC certification process and exam. Our colleagues from IAAP, Sam and Rachel, will talk more about IAAP, the CPAC exam, and other activities under IAAP. You are all, by accepting the scholarship and by getting certified, you will all become, by default, members of IAAP. But you will also benefit from other initiatives under the DARE Academy. The DARE Academy, in addition to its scholarship, it will be also organizing or holding a course. It's inspired by the results of the DARE Index that Francesca just spoke about. The course will present some best practices on major variables of the DARE Index. We are trying to we are planning, or we are starting to prepare for the course. Hopefully will be launched in the next few months. You will all have access to the course. The course will be featuring also experts who will come to speak during the course as panelists or as lecturers to share their experience and their best practices and perspective on different aspects of ICT accessibility, whether on the level of a country commitment or the capacity for implementation and strategies of implementation that have been pursued by countries, and definitely the outcomes of different initiatives that have been taking place around different issues of ICT accessibility, mobile phones, websites, internet, education, employment, and so on and so forth. And last but not least, you will all also become members of the global network for digital accessibility champions. It's a global network that would bring together leaders in the field of digital accessibility, and it's a platform to enhance capacity of these leaders around issues of ICT accessibility advocacy on national, regional, and global level. It's also an opportunity to bring voices of persons with disabilities, especially or primarily in those regions or countries that are of emerging economies that still facing challenges in the field of digital accessibility. We need to bring voices of these people, your voices, of course, to become strong advocates in the field of digital accessibility. Without any further ado, I don't want to take much of time. I would like to turn it over to our colleagues from IAAP to talk to us about what they are doing, and also to talk to us or to walk us through the process of the certification that you are all going to have through the DARE Academy Scholarship. I would like to hand it over to Sam and Rachel, who will present on this. Sam and Rachel, please.